A dusty vintage car sat at the back of an old garage, its once bright paint faded and rust forming across the edges. Tools were scattered nearby, cobwebs in every corner. Most people ignored it, assuming it was worthless junk. But Clara, a 27-year-old female mechanic, felt a spark of curiosity the moment she saw it. Clara had spent years fixing modern cars, trucks and motorcycles, but she had a soft spot for vintage vehicles. There was something magical about them, the history, the engineering, and the stories they carried. This abandoned car seemed special, almost calling to her. She wiped the dust from the windshield and examined the exterior carefully. The garage smelled of oil and old leather. Clara circled the car, testing the doors, peering under the chassis, and running her hands over the tires. Her instincts told her there was more than met the eye. She had learned early in her career that hidden surprises often came in old machines. Sliding into the driver's seat, she noticed the interior smelled faintly of must and wood polish. The seats were cracked, the dashboard faded, but the steering wheel felt surprisingly solid. Clara reached for the ignition. The engine groaned and coughed, reluctant to wake, but soon settled into a steady idle, as if welcoming her. She began a careful inspection, removing panels and checking the engine. The vehicle had been abandoned for decades, yet it was mechanically intact, preserved unusually well. Clara's curiosity deepened. As she tapped along the floorboards, she heard a hollow thud beneath the driver's seat. Something was hidden there. Clara knelt and examined the section closely. She found a small metal latch concealed under the carpet. Her heart raced. She pried it open gently, revealing a hidden compartment. Inside, a bundle wrapped in worn velvet sat untouched. She carefully unwrapped it, revealing stacks of old documents, photographs, and what appeared to be rare coins. The documents were stock certificates, some dating back over 60 years. Coins from various eras, including gold and silver pieces, gleamed under the dim garage light. Clara's hands trembled. She realized the car had been a vault, cleverly disguised as a forgotten vintage automobile. The value was enormous, but more than that, the historical significance was incredible. Clara sat back for a moment, overwhelmed by the discovery. She thought of the person who had hidden these treasures, perhaps decades ago. Why leave them in a car? Perhaps to protect them, or maybe because the car was a trusted companion. Whoever had done this had trusted no one but themselves and their beloved vehicle. Excited but careful, she documented everything, taking photos of the coins, certificates, and photographs. Each certificate bore names she didn't recognize, yet they seemed tied to the city's history. The coins were rare, some minted in the 1800s. Clara realized she had stumbled upon a treasure trove of historical and monetary value beyond imagination. Word began to spread when she contacted local historians and antique experts. People who had ignored the car suddenly became fascinated. Clara, however, remained grounded, focusing on cataloging everything properly. Her mechanical skill had led her to something others overlooked, proving the value of curiosity, patience, and expertise. Legal experts were called in to verify ownership of the car and its contents. It turned out the car had belonged to a wealthy family who had disappeared decades ago. The treasures inside had been forgotten after their mysterious disappearance, leaving the car abandoned and its secrets hidden from the world. As the news broke, Clara's name spread across social media and news outlets. She became known not only as a talented mechanic, but also as the woman who discovered an extraordinary historical treasure. People admired her for her skill, dedication, and integrity in handling the find responsibly. Despite the fame, Clara continued her work in the garage, repairing cars, teaching apprentices, and restoring vintage vehicles. The discovery had changed her life financially and reputationally, but her passion for mechanics remained unchanged. She treated every car, whether modern or vintage, with the same care and dedication. The abandoned vintage car, now restored to its former glory, sat proudly in her workshop. Clara often ran her hands over its polished surface, smiling quietly. It had brought her fortune, fame, and historical recognition, but more importantly, it reminded her that persistence, curiosity, and love for one's craft can uncover the most unexpected treasures. Clara also began holding workshops on vintage car restoration, sharing her story with young mechanics, emphasizing the value of careful observation and never dismissing old or forgotten machinery. Her discovery became a lesson for many, that hidden wonders often lie where the world least expects them. Every day, she would glance at the car and the hidden treasures it once held, remembering the moment she discovered the latch, the thrill of unwrapping the velvet bundle, and the overwhelming mix of surprise and joy. For Clara, the experience had been life-changing in every way imaginable. Her story traveled far, inspiring mechanics, historians, and treasure hunters alike. Clara proved that skill, patience, and an open mind could turn even an abandoned rusty car into the gateway to a hidden fortune and historical wonder. The car and its secrets had found the right person at last.